And hi, everybody. This is Rich Burke. And welcome to the first ever broadcast of Hillsboro Hops baseball. It's been a long time, hasn't it? Portland has been without professional baseball now for 1,012 days. That's more than 2.5 years without the national pastime in the 22nd largest market in the country. It was September 6, 2010, that the Portland Beavers closed up shop, and baseball fans in the Portland area were left without a team. But that all began to change about a year ago when Mike and Laura McMurray, the owners of the Class A Yakima Bears, were in negotiations with the city of Hillsboro to move the Bears to Washington County. Lo and behold, the deal got done. The Yakima Bears were moving to Hillsboro, and in the fall it was announced that they had been renamed the Hillsboro Hops. On September 24th, they broke ground on the new stadium, Hillsboro Ballpark. The question was, what kind of ballpark could they possibly build in such a short time? The answer, a masterpiece, as many people found out at yesterday's open house, and many more will find out when the Hops play their home opener on Monday night. But first things first. Tonight we're here at Volcano Stadium in Kaiser, where the Hops open their inaugural season with the first game in club history. This is Class A baseball. We're down a few levels from AAA, but in some senses, it's a better level. There's a sense of innocence here. Many of the players are spending their first ever days in a professional uniform, and they're very happy to be here. Having broadcast AAA ball, having filled in at the big leagues, and having called 6 years of Class A ball, I can tell you there's really two levels where the players are happy to be where they are. One of them is the big leagues. One of them is short season ball, and that's where we are right here. In this league, the Northwest League, along with Hillsboro, there are clubs in Salem, Eugene, and Boise. Those three, along with Hillsboro, round out the South Division. And in the North, Spokane, Everett, Vancouver, BC, and Tri-City, which is over in Pasco, Washington. And for the uninitiated, all these teams are affiliated with major league clubs. Hillsboro, of course, affiliated with the Arizona Diamondbacks. Salem Kaiser, tonight's opponent, affiliated with the San Francisco Giants. The players on the Hillsboro roster are all between 19 and 24 years old, some of them with a year or two or three of professional baseball under their belt. Others were just drafted last week, and this is their first time as professionals. The coaching staff includes a former National League Cy Young Award winner, Doug Drabeck. He is the Hillsboro Hops pitching coach, along with a talented young hitting instructor in J.R. House. Hillsboro native and former big leaguer Ben Petrick will serve as a coach, and the manager of the Hops in his 9th year in the organization is Otto Vicente. Well, with the historic nature of this night, we have an extra long pregame show for you. We'll have extended interviews with the skipper, Otto Vicente, along with Doug Drabeck and J.R. House. We'll also meet a couple of Hillsboro Hops players, Brian Billigan, who will be the leadoff hitter for the Hops in their first ever game in franchise history. And then we'll also meet tonight's starting pitcher, the second youngest player on the team, 19-year-old Ben Eccles. It's interesting, the two youngest players in the team will start the two most important early games in franchise history. Ben Eccles starts tonight, and then the youngest player on the club, the fireballing Jose Martinez, who is topped out at triple digits. Yep, he's hit 100 on the radar gun. He will start for the Hops in the home opener on Monday night. He likewise is just 19 years old. When we come back on the Hops pregame show, we will meet the skipper, Otto Vicente, coming up in just a moment here on Fox Sports Radio 620 AM. Well, the time is upon us. The wait is over. Hillsboro Hops baseball just about set to begin. Chris Johnson of the Salem Kaiser Volcanoes out making his final warm-up tosses. Brian Billigan will get set to step in here in just a moment. The sun is shining here in Kaiser. Right field is the sun field. It'll be a difficult sun field for a few innings. Rich Burke along with Matt Rickert. Matt will be along with me in an inning or so, but first things first. Otto Vicente coaching at third, J.R. House coaching at first, and here is Brian Billigan. 23 years old, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania native, adjusting his batting gloves as he strides up to home plate, a left-hand hitter facing the right-hander Chris Johnson. And we joked on the pregame show, I told Billigan he should come out of his shoes on that first pitch. What if he had a home run on the first pitch in franchise history? He digs in, open stance, a wide stance. Chris Johnson into his wind and delivers, and it's a fastball on the outside corner, and we are underway. And the Hillsboro Hops are here indeed. 0-1 to Brian Billigan. The next one from Johnson. Fastball a little bit low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Ryan Gebhardt on deck, and then Wagner Mateo. Outfield is shading Billigan to the opposite field. Pretty big gap in right center field. And the 1-1 pitch. Fastball is fouled off. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Billigan steps back in. Hit .311 last year in the Arizona League, combined with South Bend. The next pitch to Billigan, half swing on a breaking ball. Around he went, picked out of the dirt by Gino Escalante, who throws to first to get him. So Billigan strikes out on a slider from Chris Johnson, and there's 1 down. So there you have it. The first batter in Hillsboro Hops history. Brian Billigan strikes out on a slide piece from Chris Johnson, the former Portland Pilot, and that brings up Ryan Gebhardt, the second baseman. Drafted in the 17th round this year out of Louisiana Tech, and this is his first professional at-bat. Johnson delivers a fastball. It's taken inside ball 1. Johnson 6'4", 210 pounds. Ground ball pulled foul past Vicente, who mimics picking the ball up like an infielder fielding a ground ball, but not wearing a glove, and the fact that ball was hit pretty hard, Otto let it go by. Wise choice. 1 ball, 1 strike. Next one from Johnson. Gebhardt takes a fastball high. 2-1. Ryan Gebhardt, a right-hand hitter, the Hillsboro Hops second baseman, facing the right-hander Chris Johnson. It's get to know you time, huh? There's a soft line drive punched up the middle, and it's a base hit. And Ryan Gebhardt has the first hit in franchise history. It was down around the label, but he was able to muscle it into center. And 1 on with 1 out. And it brings up the big first baseman, Wagner Mateo. .6'2" left-hand hitter. Gebhardt at Louisiana Tech this year, stole 1 base, was caught twice. He is not a speed burner. .325 down the left field line here, likewise down the right field line. It's .350 to straightaway left. Straightaway to left and right. Pick-off throw to first. Gebhardt dives back in. That is shallower than it is at the new Hillsboro ballpark in Hillsboro. .405 to straightaway center. Breeze blowing out to right. Mateo swings and fouls one off to the left. 0-1. Mateo checking things out with the third base coach and manager, Otto Vicente. By the way, Otto spells his first name A-U-D-O. Otto Vicente, who, like Mateo, is from the Dominican Republic. A check of Gebhardt by Johnson, not going, and the pitch to Mateo, waved at and missed on a change. And it's no balls and 2 strikes. Way out in front of it. Mateo last year, 49 games with Yakima, hit .194 without a home run. He is still a good prospect. 0-2 pitch swung on, and the tapper hit out in front of home plate. Escalante goes out to get it, picks it up bare hands, throws to first and got him. Down to second on the play goes Gebhardt. Nice play by the catcher Gino Escalante. The hop about 20 feet out in front of home plate, barehand that ball and throw to first. Escalante, a 15th rounder by the Giants this year out of Mount Olive College. That'll bring up the Hops left fielder Ty Linton. Last year with Pioneer League champion Missoula, he had .238 with 4 home runs. He's a big boy, 6'3", 220. Runner at second, 2 down. A look back at Gebhardt. The pitch to Linton. Ground ball to the right side. 2 hops and gobbled up by Jonathan Jones. And the Volcanoes first baseman touches first. And the inning is over. The Hops, in their first ever inning of play, leave a runner at second. We're through half an inning here at Volcano Stadium in Kaiser. The Hops nothing. And Salem Kaiser coming up.